A long time ago, two players were very excited for Elrica releasing JP, and they both decided to pull on Elrica banner. They both got Elrica to A4, but it seems that the A4 has an effect on them. One of them forever leave and never make any video again, and the other one forever leave the EN server and is slowly burning out making content. I guess if anything, Elrica A4 is kind of a curse. Behold the great warrior Princess Elrica. So great that I had to compress down so many words in order to fit them into my slide. From now I will abbreviate them as QF and WF, which is Queen form and Warrior form. Tenacious Oral Sword is very useful for Elrica because there's two ways you can utilize this. In Queen form, you can use it and gain 1 point, and you also gain 1 point from the passive, so you can gain point up very quickly with the skill, so 2 points per 1 action. In Warrior form, it's also a cheaper way because it is a nuke, a 230 nuke, 400 at max boost, and it's only consume 1 point, so if building up 2 points for her other nuke is too much, then you would use a skill to do the nuking instead. Slightly less potency, but also less point consumed. Also, the skill also grants you 1 boost point, so if you don't have Alana EX or any other character that give you an extra boost point, then using the skill will also let you boost max twice during a break also. Brilliant War Slash is Elrica's main nuke. Only use it when the enemy is like broken. It has 290 power at max level and is much higher than the other one of her, but this one consumes 2 points to use. In addition to double casting using 2 points, the skill also hit light weakness and it also hit dark weakness in warrior form, which you always want to be in warrior form if you are hitting the enemy in break. So it's a sword that hit light and dark and also has 500 potency and max boost and also trigger twice. And Brilliant World Flurry is Elrica's main multi-hit skill. Kinda sucks that it's random target because it only makes her good when there's only one enemy, but it's a 5-hit that hit light, hit dark too, but preferably if you use it as shield breaking, you can't really hit dark because you want to build point while in the main form, and if you're in the warrior form, then you cannot build point. So at max boost is 70 power, so if you get 3 points to double casters, then it's 10 times 70, which is 700 potency, and you only want to do this with someone like Solon because 1, the skill consumes a lot of points to double casting it, and 2, the potency is just too low. So unless you absolutely hitting their damage cap, don't use a skill for damaging the enemy. Both of Elrica's passive is working out the form change that Elrica have. The first passive is that if Elrica is in warrior form, then she will gain 50,000 damage up and 30% sword damage up, which is strong because damage up passive is always nice, and damage cap up is even more nice, so it's very easy for Elrica to hit 2 times 150k during break. The second passive is that when in Queen form, Elrica gains 1 point when using any skill, so it helps her build up the point toward her double cast faster. And for the ultimate, it also has a different effect based on whatever form you are in, and honestly for Elrica it's not that much strong for her because she is a DPS, but if anything you can use her ultimate before you use her double cast, but preferably you want to double cast twice during break rather than using ultimate on the break turn. So also her A4 is good too, so it's much more worth it to just go for her A4 than go for her ultimate level 10. Elrica is very strong because 2 times 150k damage twice during break consistently is very strong, but she does have one big weakness though. 2, but like 1 is bigger, and that is it just took a bit too long to build up her point properly. So if you want to double cast her strongest move twice during one break, you need 4 points for the strongest skill, but in order to get 4 points, you either have to spend that 5-hit skill 4 times, then Elrica has to be on the field 4 times during that break when the enemy is not broken, or you spend that 1 skill that grants her 2 points per usage. But that skill is only doing 1 hit of shield points, so it's essentially doing nothing. So you are using the Tenacious Warrior Sword skill for her to build a point quickly, you're essentially just wasting a turn to just prep Elrica for the boost turn. And sometimes taking 4 turns of ready enemy shield is also a bit too long. The second is that Elrica just does not excel when there's multiple enemies on the field, because she has no AoE skill and her multi-hit skill is random target. So the moment there's multiple enemies on the field, Elrica is not doing any shield breaking. You're either just using her to build up that boost point using that Tenacious or Solid skill of her, or you just have her in the backline just wait until the enemy's broken and then you switch her out and do them some damage. And Ian right now, and for a while until 2 specific sword unit come, Elrica is now the best sword DPS in the game because right now no one can contest 2 times 150k twice during one break. Currently in JP though, Elrica, we also have like too many strong warrior release in a sense. Elrica does not see as much play anymore since there's much better option for her now. So instead of comparing to the old unit to the current new unit right now, I'll compare Elrica to the 2 upcoming units in this case, which is Audio O and Sazanto specifically. These 2 are the 2 closest warrior in the future who is also around putting around the same damage level as Elrica is. And later on we get some more stronger sword unit like Ringabel and Hikari, but they are far away from the future, and Sazantos and Audio are the 2 closest ones to right now. Now, compared to them, and if anyone's seen my ranking video of the top 3 DPS in JP, yes, Elrica does do the most damage, assuming you give her enough prep time. The biggest problem with Elrica is that you have to build up 4 points if you want to double cast twice during break. And building up 4 points with Elrica, meaning require Elrica to either do the 5-hit thing 4 times or that 1-hit thing 2 times. Which is, the first one is nice I guess, but then you cannot really swap her off for anything else. And the second one is just not even shield shaving. Audio O and Sazantos does not have the problem. With Audio O, your strongest move is to sap all the HP of your allies, which is very easy to do since you have reached out the time, and it's not even that much of a consequence if Audio is the one that goes last. And for Sazantos, he does require an extra boost point source from somewhere to be able to boost max twice during break. But it's not that hard with the addition of Adane, and later on, character like Ogun and Kunes also have that. And for those 2, Audio and Sazantos, those 2 characters, their strongest damage output is not as high as Elrica. If anything, potency-wise and damage cap and everything, Elrica is the one that's strongest. But because Elrica has problem with prep time, usually Sazantos and Audio is better. For Audio, his 9-hit spam isn't even a problem as long as you go last. And for Sazantos, he also later on get a passive, a buff passive that make him grant 2 boost points to start a battle. So you can do a very quick battle with 8 hit at the start of battle, fully charge his ultimate, use his ultimate to grant 5 BP back to everyone in the front row, and then use the boost max twice again. And as someone has Sazantos, he's just much more fun than Elrica, even if Sazanto technically does less damage when at the full potential, because he can do AoE, his multi-hit is single target unlike Elrica multi-hit which is random target, and his ultimate is just so useful and it's so easy to set up the double cast in Elrica. So, as much as Elrica is a great character and is beloved by everyone except for Potters I guess, she just have too much of a setup problem, and when compared to the other 2 sword unit I mentioned, I think you would prefer Sazantos and Audio more over than Elrica. So in conclusion, as much as Elrica do have a setup problem, she is paired with Adana EX, which is still very strong right now in JP, and she's still very much a great sword DPS even with the setup problem, so I think it's fine to pull for her.